This video is about developing mobility in athletes in Phase 4 of our long-term athletic development training system. Mobility is an important building block for health and athleticism. In Phase 3, we emphasize the concept that strength and mobility are trained together within the context of developing physical literacy and fundamental movement skills. Exposure to a variety of dryland activities builds a solid musculoskeletal frame and counteracts the postural changes and flexibility limitations that can result from too much sitting or screen time. As athletes enter Phase 4 of development, coaches may begin to introduce more sport-specific or athlete-specific mobility into their dryland programs, with an emphasis on structured mobility in the warm-up and cool-down periods. Mobility is defined as the ability to move body segments through a range of motion without undue strain. Athletes can work on mobility using dynamic movement or static postures and stretches. This can include basic yoga instruction and gymnastic skill work. During warm-ups for sport or dryland training, it is generally recommended that mobility work be dynamic, as warm-ups need to be vigorous to elevate body temperature, prepare the nervous system, and get joints ready for training. Static stretching and yoga can be useful in addressing a specific orthopedic issue during warm-up if guided or recommended by an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or physician. In the cool-down phase after a training session, light dynamic mobility work and static stretching are both beneficial to the athlete. Coaches should use warm-up and cool-down sessions to help an athlete learn movements and stretches that are best for training preparation and body regeneration. Boys and girls may differ in their needs for structured mobility training. Girls may have areas of hypermobility. They may demonstrate excess mobility in the lumbar spine, hip, and ankle. In this case, it is important to focus on strength and stability around these joints and not focus on static stretching of those areas. Boys may demonstrate limited mobility, hypomobility, in the hip, groin, and ankle areas and may benefit from focused work in those specific areas. A basic body weight squat or overhead squat with a dowel can be used to assess the ankle and hip mobility needed to squat. If an athlete demonstrates excessive or limited mobility, coaches should target programming and warm-up movements to help the athlete develop that necessary stability or mobility to squat in a safe manner. Any male or female athlete in a stage of active growth will need support and help with maintaining mobility for sport. Coaches should be attentive to this. Mobility about any joint takes time to develop. Good dryland training, consistently and mindfully practiced, is the antidote to this challenge. In summary, mobility in the Phase 4 athlete is built by teaching and using a variety of movements, postures, and stretches. This can include basic yoga poses and gymnastic skill work, as this type of work incorporates excellent body awareness and complements more traditional weight room mobility training. With this solid foundation of movement and mobility, athletes will have the opportunity to develop the physical literacy necessary for health and performance.